published 1450 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 13th of May 2018, updated 1750 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 13th of May 2018. The first thing Ed Smith must decide when he picks his side on Tuesday for the first test against Pakistan is whether he is looking for short-term gains or planning beyond this summer to address England's away form. England are a successful side at home and play very good cricket in their own backyard with a duke ball, but results over the last couple of tours tell you they have been abysmal away in both spin and fast bowling conditions. The new national selector will want to make an instant impact, and he's certainly got a captain in Joe Root who needs to win after a winter where England not only lost the Ashes but were defeated in New Zealand. James Vince did not fully deliver the goods in good conditions in Australia and New Zealand. New national England selector Ed Smith will want to make an instant impact this summer. Pakistan have shown over the years they are not to be messed with, and after England have played them in 2 tests they face India in a 5-test series, and they are certainly not to be messed with. So is Smith looking to pick a side who'll get him off to a good start and win at Lords and Headingley and then worry about the winter when it comes around, or is he looking at cricketers for all seasons? I don't mind if he concentrates on the here and now as long as he gets together with the likes of Andrew Strauss and Andy Flower and tries to identify the players England will need in Sri Lanka and West Indies and monitor them. Smith will have to remember that the attack which was successful against South Africa and West Indies last summer fell short in Australia and New Zealand, and staying faithful to players like Moeen Ali and Jake Ball just did not work. There is still time for Vince to become a test batsman of genuine class for England. Personally, I would pick my best side to beat Pakistan in England in early summer because that's what I'd want if I was in Root's shoes now, but I'd also make sure I had one eye on improving that awful away run. That means we must identify the best spin options, and there are 1 or 2 coming through like Surrey's Amar Virdi, while not forgetting those who have had a taste like Mason Crane and work with them throughout the summer. The same applies to pace and identifying now the bowlers who can provide you with that something extra, like Mark Wood has shown he can do and others like Ollie Stone might be able to do. That is the art of selection. I don't see the point of naming a player of overseas promise in the squad now for the sake of it just to be perceived to be doing something different and then just make them carry the drinks during the test. Get them playing the right sort of cricket and keep a close eye on them throughout the summer, monitor the progress all the way, to try to ensure they are ready ahead of that first test of 3 in Sri Lanka this winter. Surrey's Amar Virdi is emerging as a spin option ahead of tests against India and Pakistan. I have been a fan of Nick Gubbins for the last 18 months and he could open the batting. The coach can play a bigger role in the talent identification too. Trevor Bayliss has a hugely busy schedule and points out that he has been reliant on the other selectors because he hasn't seen enough of the next generation in the flesh. Well, his assistant Paul Farbrace is perfectly capable of taking charge once a test has begun. Why not encourage Bayliss to get out and about and watch county matches while a test is going on if that's his only chance? One thing I will say is that every selection Smith and Bayliss make has to be an investment. I've worked with 2 types of selectors, the ones who looked at players like Michael Vaughan and Marcus Trescothick and thought they may not be quite ready, but what will I get from these guys in 2 years' time? Others would just look at the next cab off the rank, and because we have so many professional cricketers capable of doing a decent job at county level but perhaps no more than that, you end up going round in circles. So there are no real surprises in the team I'd pick to walk out at Lords next week, but England have made an investment in all of these players and better to give them one chance too many than too few before discarding them. The ones I deliberated over most are Mark Stoneman and James Vince because they did not fully deliver the goods in excellent batting conditions in Australia and New Zealand. If they do play now, those big match-defining hundreds really must come soon. Vince is the one who confuses me the most because somewhere in there is an international batsman and good judges like Ian Chappell are adamant he can bat. There is still time for him to become a test batsman of genuine class, but are we always going to get what we've seen up to now where he flatters to deceive? I would bat Jonny Bairstow no lower than 5 because he is wasted at 7 in the lineup, so I'd have him at 6 at Lords where he might just flourish, and I would pick the captain at 3 where your best batsman plays, and I would bat Jonny Bairstow no lower than 5 even with the gloves because he is wasted at 7. I have been a fan of Nick Gubbins for the last 18 months, and if he comes in now, Stoneman could not have any complaints if he is left out because he didn't nail down a place in the winter. And the same applies to Vince. But Smith's job is far from easy. Remember, Moeen was arguably England's player of last summer and took 30 test wickets. He also bowled very well the last time India were here in 2014 but struggled in the winter and ended up dropped. Now it would have taken a very brave national selector to stand up last September and say, I know Moeen has been fantastic this summer but he's not playing at Brisbane, so this is the juggling act Smith has. I captained Ed when he played test cricket and he is clearly a very intelligent man who has impressed Strauss enough to be given this chance. Now he must maintain England's excellent home test form while somehow finding a way of making things better overseas. It will not be easy.